Randy Mosses. Both the black and white Randy Moss chimed in on X last night over the Al Dukes mix-up, and that video went everywhere. And then last night, another one of these, oh my God, Knicks injuries that could derail the season as Jalen Brunson turns his ankle, should have been out of the game for good. Of course, the Grizzlies are mounting this comeback in the fourth quarter. Tibbs puts the guys back in, the starters back in. Now, initial reports are they don't think that he's going to be gone for a long period of time, but this is just going to be another one of these ambiguous, we're waiting around, we're never going to get an answer, we don't know how long someone's going to be out thing that's going to drive us absolutely crazy. So hopefully everybody is healthy in time for the games that matter. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Jay. I'm doing well. And yes, I saw the injury last night, and I was like, man, this looks like it's one of those twisted ankle things that happens to these players. And happen late in the game, and you're thinking to yourself, because we didn't see the whole game because we were out having dinner, and then when you finally got back and watched the end of the game, you're like, what the hell's he doing in the game?
Yep.
But as you put it there, the Grizzlies were making a comeback, so Tibbs just wanted to make sure they were going to win the game. And this is what happens, I think, and it's not the fault of anybody. I'm not blaming anybody for this, but this is what happens when you take players out towards the end of the game. They're winning. They cool down, they sit down on the bench, and in their minds, they're not thinking, hey, I got to go back in. So when you have that kind of thought process and then you have to go back in, it's hard to get it restarted. Now, I'm not saying that's why he got hurt. I'm just saying that could be one of the reasons why. But he was still trying to drive to the basket, do what he normally does. And all of a sudden, it's like his leg gave out.
Yeah, it was strange because earlier in the same possession, he had slipped on the floor. And then he does it again, going to the basket. But
is it the floor, or was it him sitting on the bench getting something on the bottom of his, of his sneaks? Who knows?
Yeah, and he's always so in control of his body. He never looks out of control. So I do think that has something to do with it. Where both mentally and physically he was done. And then I got to go back and save this situation to go back in the game, but. Of course, nothing can be easy with the Knicks. Just can't be.
Yeah, but the good news is that the All-Star break is coming. They won. They'll get an extended breather, and Anunoby should be back. I don't necessarily know that we'll see Julius Randle. So what are we in February now? Maybe mid-March, maybe if we're lucky. So that would be 4 weeks from now, if you think about that.
Yeah. And 33-18 with another wins, having won 9 out of 10. They are, what now, 2.5 games or 2 full games ahead of the 76ers in the 4 seed. And they're still trucking along with these injuries. And now you just hope that Jalen Brunson is healthy enough. Because he also wants to play in the All-Star game. That is a cool thing for him. He doesn't want to miss that.
Well, you know what? That's not important. I'm sorry.
It's not important to us. It's important to him.
Yeah, I know that. I know.
But if he has to miss that would suck. But it's just one thing, like Julius Randle, injury. OG Anunoby, injury. Jalen Brunson now, injury. Now, it's a long way to go. But it feels like there's too many speed bumps with this team. Even when things are going well, there has to be something that is a challenge. But it's not easy. Obviously, you got Joel Embiid and the Sixers dealing with what they're dealing with. So it's not like we're the only ones having issues. The Bucks fired their coach. Everybody's got their problems. But health and the Knicks, not exactly two things that are working together.
What did you think of Kyrie Irving's comments after the game
about Mayor Adams?
Yeah, he blamed the problems that were going on in Brooklyn on Mayor Adams. I'm with Kyrie on this one.
Yeah, this is, I know, with the famous drop, I'm with Kyrie. I'm
still with Kyrie on this one. Because of the boneheaded policies
sure.
that we were all living through.
Yeah.
And basically affected Kyrie, much like it affected many public worker folks that lost their jobs because they were not willing to get the vaccine.
Yeah, it was a crazy moment in time, and he stood up for what he believed in. And the issue that I have, though, with Kyrie is that's not the only thing that kept him off the court. Remember the year before when he just disappeared?
Yeah, he didn't want to play in the bubble.
That was the year before that.
Oh, okay.
So there was...
Oh, yeah, then he left for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, and nobody knew where he was. And Steve Kerr was like, I don't know where. Not Steve Kerr. Nash. Steve Nash is like, we
We don't know. And whatever Kyrie needs, we're here for him. And never he disappeared.
He needed a mental break.
Right. So, like, you have the bubble thing, then you had that, and then obviously the vaccine thing after that. So, I mean, the follow-up question, I don't know if there was a follow-up question, but what about all the other games that you missed because you were just you? It had nothing to do with the vaccine.
I kind of like the fact that he takes a shot at Mayor Adams, though, because Mayor Adams has no clue what's going on. Well, has no clue, has no handle of New York City whatsoever. It is completely out of control.
Yeah,
the whole city is out of control.
No,
I know that we all live there. Anybody who does live there knows this. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is so far gone.
Yeah, listen, I know.
That's why I'm with Kyrie on this one.
Yes, I mean, I'm with you. I like the shot at Mayor Adams as well.
Especially ones that have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, this is tough, picking between Mayor Adams and Kyrie Irving.
I'm taking Kyrie every time. I don't care.
But in that particular thing, obviously, we've said it many times before that we understand why Kyrie did what he did during that thing. But there's so many other issues that the guy had.
Yeah,
and let's not forget the movie that he retweeted that said that the Holocaust didn't exist. Did that have anything to do with Mayor Adams? Like, there was so many things that Kyrie did in a Nets uniform that had nothing to do with the vaccine mandate that led to his tenure being a complete disaster. So the fact that he just pointed to the one thing that people could have his back on,
right,
I thought was weak.
Well, I'm just telling you, this is the only situation that I have his back on. The other stuff I don't have his back on. Well, but I will say that we spent more time talking about the Nets during the tenure that he and Kevin Durant were here than every other year, I think, combined.
Yeah, and it had nothing to do with the Nets and their franchise, everything to do with those players. And we're still talking about those players. You know, they just happen to be in Nets uniforms.
Did they do a Kyrie tribute video last night? Or was that where was it? It was in Brooklyn last night?
Yeah, he'd been back before, right? Didn't he come back last year?
I don't know.
I think they might have done a video for. I have no idea. I don't. I try.
I don't care.
I try. I do not care about the Nets and their tribute videos. That is one thing I don't care about. But I mean, Kyrie Irving, you have to say, he's playing better than he has in years. I mean, that's why that question came up: is how come you never played like this with the Nets? I mean, and we just detailed.
Well,
all the
he
reasons
couldn't
why.
play with the Nets. He didn't get vaccinated.
Well,
for that one situation. Yes, I know. I understand.
Once again, he also got suspended for being an anti-Semite.
Yes, he did.
Did we forget about that?
No, we're not forgetting about that.
All right.
I mean, he took no ownership of it, but I have to say, taking a shot at the mayor that's doing nothing and it's completely lost, I'm with Kyrie.
All right, on that particular
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, yeah.
We do this show every day, right? And we have a lot of fun here. We enjoy our time. And you never know what we say or what happens around this show and where it's going to end up and where it's going to go.
Fair. Yeah.
Right? So, obviously, Al made this bonehead mistake yesterday of screwing up the Randy Mosses, the white and the black Randy Mosses.
That's right.
And the Randy Moss, the black Randy Moss, actually tweeted at you, Al, and said, I wish I would have said this yesterday, and I saw this last night. I couldn't stop laughing. Just seeing what the Randy Moss said.
Yeah, and I saw it when it popped up, and Jerry and I were out watching the Rutgers Maryland game, and I slapped him on the shoulder because I was so excited. He's like, dude, what are you doing? I was like, look at this. And someone got moused is what he put up there. And he quote tweeted the WFAN account that had the video in it.
I have to tell you, when I saw that, I was in the back of a car.
Yeah.
And I saw that pop up, and I was crying laughing because I could just see the black Randy Moss saying that. You know, I mean, it was just hilarious.
Yep.
And I guess the white Randy Moss.
He did.
He tweeted out something as well. Did you know this, Al?
I heard Gio say it this opening segment. And I went and looked at it.
Okay, and what does it say?
It's just something stupid, like we're both good-looking professionals. It's something dumb. I don't like.
Well, so we're not going to attack him now. It's not his fault.
I kind of would like to.
Well, attack the PR firm that booked him.
Yeah,
don't attack him.
They're running a little scam. These guys.
You feel like it's a scam. You feel like it's a NYCHA situation.
Which one?
A NYCHA.
What's that mean?
It's a $2 million scam going on there in New York City too.
Yeah, I just feel like they know that people are going to confuse the real Randy Moss and the horse racing Randy Moss, and they're taking advantage being that we're here at the Super Bowl.
So you think the PR firm is the
Correct.
one to blame?
Yes.
But they did. See, the thing to me is that they didn't send you like a picture and a bio of the Randy Moss that you booked, because then you would have known.
They did ask if I wanted one, but I was like, no, we know who Randy Moss is. We're good.
Yeah.
So a lot of things happened. Like a perfect storm had to happen, and it did.
Okay.
And the white Randy Moss, Al's right. It's silly. It's not funny. He says, we share the same name and we're both damn good looking, but I never thought there was much resemblance, is what he quote tweeted.
I mean, but the point being is like, if you're him and we have this whole thing go viral yesterday, and then you have the black Randy Moss saying that someone got moused. I mean, it is hilarious.
No, it was great. I mean,
Yes.
we were living in a movie yesterday is what was going on. I mean, the fact that someone got Moss tweet is better than anything that could have happened with either one of those guys showing
That's
up
why
here.
I was giggling when I saw it. And yesterday, we had our CBS media scrum where everybody, and I didn't realize how many on-air talent people there are doing the Super Bowl on Sunday. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
there's like 40 of us, and we're all up on stage yesterday, and then we break out and go to these small little areas, and then we get asked questions about a lot of other things other than the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And what was interesting was seeing all the brass from CBS and everybody over there. Literally everybody commented on Al's screw up.
Yeah,
everybody.
I know that we live in our own bubble, but I really meant that was probably the biggest story coming out of the Super Bowl yesterday out here was that. That got more headlines than nothing happened yesterday with the 49ers and the Chiefs. That was the thing.
Yeah, nobody said anything stupid or anything.
That was the Super Bowl week story on, what is today? On Tuesday. That's what it was.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're not really into the week yet. Now we're into it. This is the halfway point for us.
Yeah, I know. But, I mean, because it was so quiet, that was the story. Al, do you want to share any of the conversation you had with the PR person after the show yesterday?
Yes, I would. So he called, and I said, yeah, we're going to cancel Randy Moss. I said there was some confusion. I said, I read the emails quickly. I saw Randy Moss, Super Bowl week. Let's talk NFL. And that happened. I go, and the PR guy goes, yes, we're very vague on purpose when we pitch him. I said, well, that's not a good idea. I said, because you're confusing people. He goes, well, why should we say the other Randy Moss, or he's not the Randy Moss? He is the Randy Moss. He's a very accomplished broadcaster. I said, yeah, but you're doing it Super Bowl week. I go, it's very confusing. I said, be honest. I said, I've worked at WFAN for 17 years. I've never heard of your Randy Moss. So it's not that top of mind.
Yeah, because you're not into horse racing.
Right.
But by the way, when he was on the NFL Network, he was very much involved in the draft and all of those things. He is very accomplished. You have to admit that.
In horse racing.
And also covering football.
Right, but if he is, then you have to right off the bat go, hey, we have Randy Moss. No, not the Hall of Fame wide receiver, but the terrific broadcaster, Randy Moss.
No, they said to you horse racing in the email. You just didn't go deep into the email and stop blaming the PR guy. It's really your fault when it comes down to it.
The biggest point in all of this was Super Bowl week.
Yeah.
So it's like Radio Row, Super Bowl week, Randy Moss. If Al had gotten that email the Friday before the Kentucky Derby, he might have looked into it more, going, this is strange that Randy Moss wants to come on in May. I don't understand. But it's Randy Moss, Super Bowl week. He gets a million emails, names, football. I mean, it's really easy to get confused.
He didn't read the whole email.
I breezed through it.
That's right. No, we can't
Skim.
breeze through things. You got to follow through. You got to read things. I mean, I know what you do.
I wonder if that story going all around yesterday got other shows that were like, oh, damn, we have him booked as well by accident. We got to cancel. His schedule may be wide open now.
Yeah. And there was actually whatever place TVG or somebody that was using him to promote stuff put out a press release saying Randy Moss doing interviews on Radio Row promoting horse racing. So other people had booked him. I guarantee there's at least one of those shows that made the same mistake.
The thing that I wonder about now is if he did give an interview at Radio or Media Row, did he refer back to this situation?
I would think so.
And he's got nothing else going on,
Somebody's
man.
got to ask him.
Right? I mean,
right? You would think somebody would have to ask him that question, right?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
What else do you ask him? Honestly.
Well, who's going to win the Kentucky Derby?
Yeah, but it's February,
What does
man.
the field look like? Well,
Yeah.
it's a couple months away.
So, I mean, that guy, he got whatever promotion he was looking to get out of being on this show, he got 50 times more from the screw-up. So he should be happy about it. And I wonder, what I want to know is how far did the real Randy Moss watch that clip? Like, did he watch it all the way to the end? Or did he just, like, someone told him about it and he tweeted it out? Like, I'm picturing Randy Moss watching 3.5 minutes of Boomer and Gio laughing, you know?
Hopefully he was, because his response to it made me laugh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, and he's tremendous. So, I don't know, maybe I know he is actually here. He is in Vegas.
Yeah, well, he's working with ESPN.
And he's right, but he's also promoting Frito-Lay, I believe. So, I don't know. Maybe he feels bad and gets up and shows up at the win. You never know.
Yeah, well, it's 3:16 here.
Yeah.
He may not have gone to bed yet.
Maybe. Or
maybe if he comes walking through here, you never know.
True, but he's a guy that, as I told you, at the honeymoon, he was like 8 o'clock in the morning. He was running sprints on the beach. He likes to take care of himself still. Maybe he's up early. Maybe he goes to bed early. He's at the gym. We saw Roger Goodell walking around with security. He came from the gym.
Can you imagine us guys getting up at 12:30 in the morning running sprints before we came on the show?
No.
Come on, guys. Let's go outside and run some sprints. Yeah, I don't see that happening.
Yeah. Although Eddie did walk 6 miles in the rain yesterday. Did you not?
I did, yes.
The picture of health that Eddie Scazzeri was out there getting his steps in.
Where did you walk? Like in the did you do the mall walking with all the malls around here?
No, I walked to the UNLV bookstore on the UNLV campus. I wanted to get a UNLV T-shirt. So
Because Eddie doesn't know how the internet works, apparently. So he
I mean,
could've just ordered one.
like, could you go into the Hermes down here?
I think alarms might go off if I walked into that store.
I agree. All right, it is Boomer and Gio on the Fan and CBS Sports Network.